If you've ever used AI tools, you know that painful feeling, watching your credits just disappear on generations that don't work out. But what if there was a system to stop that from happening? Well, today, we're going to break down a 7-rule workflow that's designed to make every single one of your credits count. This right here, this is our starting point. It is so easy to blame the AI when things go wrong, but the real control, the real power, comes from fixing your process. It's about working smarter, not just clicking generate and crossing your fingers. A 50% failure rate is, believe it or not, pretty common. Just think about that for a second. For every awesome result you get, another one is a complete dud. That's literally half of your potential, half your time, and half your budget just gone. Let's be real. Credits isn't some monopoly money. It represents actual cash, actual hours you're putting in. So when we waste them, we're pushing back our own deadlines and just burning through the budget on mistakes that we could have prevented. Okay, but here's the good news. This is a totally solvable problem. We're about to walk through a really structured 7-rule system that's going to take the guesswork out of AI generation. It's going to put you back in the driver's seat when it comes to your costs and your results. All right, let's start at the very beginning. These first 3 rules are all about setting yourself up for a win before you even think about generating. If you get this part right, trust me, the rest of the process gets so much easier. So, rule number 1 is the big one. It's non-negotiable. You have to master your prompt. The AI is this amazing, powerful tool, but it's not a mind reader. If you give it a fuzzy idea, it has to guess what you want. And every single one of its guesses is going to cost you credits. Specificity is everything. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got a messy prompt. Something like, a woman walking. You get, well, who knows what you'll get. But on the right, the clean prompt is basically a blueprint. Cinematic shot, a woman with a red coat walking through a neon-lit Tokyo street at night, rain-slicked pavement. See, it defines the subject, the style, the setting, everything. You go from guessing to getting exactly what you want. Rule 2 is such a simple but powerful little trick. Use the negative prompt. This is your chance to stop common problems before they even start. By just adding a few words like no text, no watermarks, no extra limbs, poorly drawn hands, you're steering the AI away from those classic fails, and that saves you a ton of generations trying to fix it later. Okay, now listen up, because this one is absolutely crucial. It's the image first principle. Here's the deal. Generating a video is way more expensive than generating an image. It just doesn't make any sense to burn those expensive video credits just to test out a style. You should always nail the look with a cheap image first. I mean, the numbers right here tell the whole story, don't they? An image test might cost you, what, 8 credits? Trying that same idea as a video could be 120 credits. So by spending those 8 little credits to make sure you love the style, you save yourself from wasting 120. This is probably the single best way to protect your budget, period. Okay, so you've got a solid foundation. Now we can get into the fun part, the generation phase. Rules 4 and 5 are all about making smart choices during the creative process to keep things efficient. Oh man, here's a trap that so many people fall into. You see that button that says quality or pro mode, and of course you click it because you want the best result, right? But using those super expensive, high-power models for your first drafts, that's one of the fastest ways to absolutely torch your credit balance. Let's look at a real example. A premium model, something like VO 3.1 quality, could cost you 500 credits for just one video draft. The fix? It's so simple. Just use the fast version instead. At 120 credits, you can literally make 4 drafts for less than the price of that one quality render. The rule is, brainstorm cheap, then commit when it's perfect. I want you to ask yourself this next question and be honest. When you think you have the perfect prompt, and you know you need a few different versions, what's your very next click? If your instinct is to generate a whole big batch at once, you might be making a really costly mistake. And that leads us right into rule number 5. Never, ever batch generate before you've approved a single result. It only takes a couple of moments to generate one test image. If there's some hidden flaw in your prompt, batching just multiplies that mistake and your wasted credits by 10. Just confirm one is perfect, then scale up. All right, let's get to our final section. Here, we're going to cover those subtle but super common traps that a lot of people fall into because they don't know the specifics of their tools. Rule 6 is so important. Match the model to the job. I get it, it's tempting to just use the newest, most popular model for everything. But they all have their own unique specializations. Using a model that's bad at text to try and make a logo, or one that's weak on realism for a product shot, you're just setting yourself up for failure from the jump. So here are the kind of insider tips that save pros a ton of credits. If you need clean, readable text in an image, you use a model like Ideogram. It's built for that. For super crisp photorealistic shots, Flux is your go-to. And for that big, sweeping, cinematic motion, Sora 2 is the specialist. Knowing this is the difference between getting it right on the first try and wasting 10 attempts. And finally, Rule 7. Stop making the AI guess so much. If you have a specific composition in mind, or a certain color palette, or a character style, give it a reference image. This gives the model a really strong visual anchor to work from, and it dramatically cuts down the number of tries it takes to get the image you see in your head. So, there you have it, the 7 rules. Now, let's turn that whole system into a super simple habit. We've boiled it all down into one final, actionable checklist that you can use every single time. Here it is, your 7-point pre-flight check. Is my prompt clean? Am I using negative prompts? Did I test this with an image first? Am I drafting with a fast model? Did I approve one before batching? Am I using the right model for this job? And hey, could a reference image make this easier? Just ask yourself these questions every single time. And that's really the key takeaway here. Make this checklist a habit. Before you hit that generate button, just take 30 seconds, run through this list. I promise you, it will save you time, it will save you money, and it's going to completely transform your creative workflow for good.